بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. My dear student, greeting to you all. Today, inshallah, we will carry on with our English language lessons for the third year. My name is teacher Inaz Al-Hadathi. So as you can see, this will be the second revision we are having regarding our unit travel and transportation. Okay, so in case for any reason you missed any of the lessons or classes before, that's fine, because today is your chance to catch whatever you have missed before. So as I mentioned, this will be a revision. So for this part, as you can see, we will be able to use prepositions of time correctly. 3 prepositions of time: in, on, and at. Also, we will use adverbs of frequency correctly. Also, we will use how much and how many, and we will be able to classify all the adjectives and pronouns, regular and irregular nouns. And in order to do that, as usual, we'll be doing a lot of exercises together. This is your book. Make sure you have your actual book by now. This is the cover of Unit 2, Travel and Transportation. You can find this at page 21. As you can see here, Travel and Transportation. This is a revision. Okay? Now, I need you to look at this picture, my dear student. What do you see here? I can see a calendar. Probably we are going to mark a date or a day because we have something important. And since we are talking about a date or a day, we need to use prepositions of time correctly. How to use prepositions of time? When do we use it? Okay? Let's start with the first one here. I have in. As we have this before, in is used with parts of the day: in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. With months: in February, in Ramadan, in January, in December. Also, we use in with the season: in the spring, in the summer, in autumn, with years 2013 or in 1990s. Okay? Now, how about on, my dear student? What do I use on with? Mostly with days. On Sunday, on Monday morning, on Tuesday afternoon, on May 5th, on a weekday, on a weekend. Very good, my dear student. Now, coming to the last preposition of time, I have at. What do we use at with? Mostly with time. 10:30, night, noon, midday, midnight, bedtime, sunrise, sunset, or perhaps to say weekend. Okay? Now, I need your help here. I have this exercise. Complete the sentences with the correct preposition: at, in, or on. It depends on the word that we are having here. Let's read the first one. Dinner is usually 7 o'clock. What do you think, my dear student? 7 o'clock. Dinner is usually in, on, or at 7 o'clock. The answer is at 7 o'clock. Excellent. At 7 o'clock. Number 2. We have long holidays. Summer. Here I have a season. In, on, or at. What do you think? The answer is in summer. Very good. Number 2. When have we got biology? Friday morning. What do you think? In, on, or at? The answer is on, because I have a day. Very good. On Friday morning. Number 4. There is a school party on 31st of January. The answer again is on, because I have a day. Number 5. We are the 21st century. Very good. In the 21st century. And for the last one, number 6, the game is 9:45 or 9:45 at 9:45. Very good, my dear student. Excellent. So here I have the prepositions of time. So let's have this exercise, my dear student. I need your help here. Try to classify the words I'm having here in the correct category. Let's start reading. Afternoon, 7:55. Friday afternoon, spring, 30th of September. Weekdays, midday, 1995. Okay, let's start with the first word. Afternoon. In, on, or at. The answer is in the afternoon. Very good. Next, 7:55. I have a time here. At 7:55. Very good. For the next word, I have Friday afternoon. Here I try to trick you a little bit, but I know you can do this. Afternoon is mentioned 2 times here. But the answer is on Friday afternoon because Friday is a day. Okay? Next, I have spring, a season. I use season in spring. Very good. Next, 30th of September. What do you think? It's a day. Again, on 30th of September. Very good. Next, weekdays. What do you think? In, on, at. Very good. The answer, on weekdays. How about the next one? Midday or noon. At midday. Very good. At midday. And for the last one, which is a year, 1995, in 1995. Very good, my dear student. Very good. Now, let's talk about 2 question words that we discussed lengthily in our lesson, on our unit, sorry. How much and how many. When do I use how much and when do I use how many? How do I use them properly? Before we do that, we need to talk a little bit about countable nouns and uncountable nouns. What do I mean by this? Countable nouns are the objects or things that we can count, such as books, cars, students, chairs, apples. For the uncountable, these are the objects that we cannot count. It's impossible to count. For example, countable nouns, here I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 apples. They are countable. But for the milk, it's uncountable, so we will refer using some milk. Or do you have any milk? But we cannot have the plural form of the word milk. Now here are more examples of the uncountable nouns. For example, coffee. And notice that we always refer to them as singular. Okay, there is coffee. There is milk. There isn't any money. Okay, and also we have pasta. So, how do I use how many? I use how many with countable nouns. For example, different kind of foods. Cupcake, eggs, bananas. Also with animals, cats, dogs, whales. Also with things, clothes, t-shirts, cars, balls, pens. Also with people, police officers, teachers, students. They are all countable nouns. So we could be having singular and plural form. For the how much, it only comes in the singular form. For the food, we might say rice, flour, butter, jam, or perhaps by saying fish, steak, cheese, milk, honey, oil, and so many other examples. Now, I need your help here. I need you to help me to complete it with the correct question word. How orange juice do you want? What do you think? Shall we use much or many, my dear student? What do you think? How much or how many? Now, we need to look at the noun. Orange juice. And we need to decide, is it countable or uncountable, my dear student? What do you think? Orange juice is uncountable. That's why we are using the word much. So let's read the question. How much orange juice do you want? How much orange juice do you want? Very good. How about this one, my dear student? Let's read. How biscuits did you eat? How biscuits do you eat? Now I'll help you out. Here I have biscuits, which is a plural, biscuits. So what do you think the answer will be? What do you think? How much biscuits or how many biscuits do you need? The answer is how many, because I have a countable noun. Biscuits, they are countable. That's why we are using many. How many biscuits do you need? Now, here as you can see, I have something that might help you out. As you can see here, I have singular. There is a or an. So that means all the items here are countable. There is an apple. There is a sandwich. There is a potato. There is a banana. There is a chocolate bar. Okay, I have one of each. And below, I have the plural form. Okay, there are some burgers, eggs, grapes, olives, carrots, cookies, bananas, cupcakes, oranges. They are all countable nouns. That's why I'm referring by using there are. Okay, so here we cover the countable, singular and plural. Now, when we come to the right top corner, there is some. Now, here I'm talking about the uncountable nouns. There is some what? There is some pasta, rice, there is some cheese, there is some bread, there is some chocolate, there is some milk, some sugar, butter, honey. These are all examples of uncountable nouns. How do we refer to? By using the singular. There is some, okay? And we use how much with uncountable nouns. Now, write the words in the correct column. Here, I have two columns or two categories, countable and uncountable. I need your help here. Let's read the nouns first. Milk, apples, oranges, salad, bananas, potatoes, chicken, water, eggs, and bread. Let's start by labeling or by writing. Let's start with milk. What do you think, milk? Is it countable or uncountable? What do you think the answer? Milk is uncountable. Very good. Apples. Here I have S for plural, so obviously it is countable noun. Very good. Oranges. It's also countable. Salad. Uncountable. Bananas. Countable. Potatoes. Also countable. Chicken is uncountable. Water is also uncountable. Eggs are countable. Bread is uncountable. Very good, my dear student. Now, let me talk a little bit about some irregular nouns. When we form the plural, it's formed differently. Let's take a look. For example, when we have a child, child is singular, but children are plural. So it's formed differently. We don't just add S, it's formed differently. Also, I have a mouse, singular, some mice. Let's have more examples. Person, people, tooth, teeth, mouse, mice, cactus, cacti, man, men, foot, feet, child, children, leaf, leaves, sheep, sheep, ox, oxen. All these are considered to be irregular nouns. They are formed differently. Now help me out, try to match. To your left, I have the singular noun. To your right, I have the plural nouns. I gave you the first one as an example. Man, men. How about the other? What do you think? Child. Child is singular. The plural is children. Very good. Children. How about deer? Deer is singular. Deer is also plural. Very good. Leaf. That ends in F. Leaves. Very good. How about wolf? A wolf. Wolves. Very good. Now notice the changes we made with the plural. Mouse, mice, fish, fish, tooth, teeth. Very good, my dear student. Excellent. Now, let's talk a little bit more about adverbs of frequency. These are the adverbs that we often use with the present simple. And we talked about the present simple in our enrichment activities that we had before. let's have all the adverbs of frequency starting from the right. And I need you to pay attention to the percentage that we have below. Let's start with always, which starts with 100%. Okay? Usually, generally, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. These are the adverbs of frequency. If I need to ask you a question, how often do you go to school? I always go to school. How often do you lie? I never lie, and so on. Now, I need your help here, my dear student. How often do you read a book? Okay, I try to help you. I sometimes or I often read a book. Now, try to remember the percentage we have. What do you think the answer here will be? The answer is I often read a book. Very good. Often is higher than sometimes. How about number 2? How often does Hind go to the mall? Always? Sometimes. What do you think? The answer is sometimes. Very good. Number 3. How often does Jude go to bed late? Now I have, what do you think? Empty blocks. So often or never? The answer is never. I never go to bed late. How often do you do your homework? Here I have 2 options. Often or always. I have full blocks here. The answer is always. I always do my homework. Very good, my dear student. Now, help me out here with the adverbs of frequency. Okay? Let me read. Never, sometimes, usually, often, always, and rarely. Try to remember the percentage. Let's start with the first one. The first one is a 4 stars, so it's an easy one. Always. Okay? How about next? What do you think? Very good. Usually. Next, I have often. Very good. Right next to it, I have sometimes, rarely, and 0% never. Let's read our answers. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. Very good, very good. So let's try to remember what we have learned in this lesson, my dear students. We had a revision. So we try to catch all the information, the important information that were in our unit, travel and transportation. In case that some of you, for any reason you missed in the class, that was your chance to catch whatever you have missed before. So that was my revision, my dear student. Until I see you next time, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.